You, of course, have been so outspoken for so long. And when all the new laws dropped, you were the first one out there calling it out, calling it for what it is, saying this is not what the people want, this is not what property owners want. You own a big property in this beautiful state. Where are we at now? What can you tell us? What's happening with push button release firearms, lever action? Some people saying they're not banned, some people saying they are. What can you tell the people of WA when it comes to where we're at with the gun laws?
Well, look, it could almost be a blessing in disguise. The absolute madness where they're saying that a lever release rifle like the Bernie Caron or a lever release shotgun uh, are semi-automatics. The flip side to this is that thousands of these have been licensed all across Australia over the last decade, and in Western Australia we have got thousands of them. And they're saying they're the same as a semi-automatic. No crimes have been committed with these. There's been no mass shootings. There's been no, blood in the streets. Nothing like the premier and our dearly beloved police minister keep on claiming having firearms out there is going to do. So we, as the people, have actually demonstrated that we are responsible enough to have semi-automatic firearms, and there should be no restrictions on them. The minister's words himself that if these are semi-automatics, so good on you, champ. You've just given us a little bit of ammunition there to say that you clearly think that we are responsible enough to have the tools for the job. Um, it's nothing to do with the firearms, the tools. It's the people, and we as shooters have proven that we are the most law-abiding group in Australia, and yeah, we should have no restrictions on the tools. So they are standing by their surprise attack in the regulations of calling them a prohibited firearm, which really is something that we can line up on and say that they had a buyback period. Then they decided that, yep, we're going to close the buyback and then we're going to release the regulations that are going to surprise, gotcha. And I think the biggest part of that is that they have said that there's going to be no compensation for people with these now prohibited firearms, and that's you're going to have to reapply for another category A or B firearm. You're going to have to pay for that. So it's quite clearly just a financial attack on shooters during a time where everyone has got not a lot of money to play with. And that is one way to hurt people is you cripple them economically. And that's how you oppress people. And unfortunately, that generally doesn't lead to anything good for a society. Um, but no, they are standing by their position on these lever release firearms. And it's really, it's a joke. People sit there and go, well, he was in the Defence Force. He should know what the difference is between them. Um, but, they're happy to just sort of maintain the media. And the media at the moment isn't very supportive of shooters. And it seems to be very leaning in that leftward direction to, say these things are scary. And yeah, they timed it in, and I think the biggest shame of it all is that we have got so many people in Western Australia who went, well, look, I've got a bolt action 22, and I've got a lever release 22, and I'm going to be over my limit, so I'll hand in doing the right thing, doing the right thing that worked well for us during COVID, and I will hand in my bolt action, and I'll retain my lever action. And now you're sitting there going, well, hang on a second. Now you're saying that this is a prohibited item. I can't get compensation for it. I'm going to have to start my license from scratch because I might have only owned one or two of these firearms. And you've just pulled the rug straight out from underneath us. And it's just one of the most disingenuous political acts I have ever seen. It is almost as bad as McGowan saying that he wasn't going to alter the electoral system here, and now they've gotten rid of the entire thing. Within a week, they stripped the regional voice.